Subnautica is one of the most immersive survival games with vast oceans to explore, upgrades to acquire, and secrets to discover. But how can we make Subnautica even better? By adding brand new crafting recipes, more tools, a new submarine, alien technology, and upping the difficulty with a Leviathan so big it makes ghost Leviathans look like plankton. These are some of the best mods that add a whole new depth to Subnautica. Let's get right into it. The Alterra Ways mod adds so much to Subnautica's food recipes, taking the flexibility of food sources to the absolute max. Now everything in the vast world of 4546B is worth picking up because it can be used to make food and water items that do so much more than Subnautica's standard food items. Some of these items can give you oxygen, both food and water, and some can give you 100% on all stats including health. Being able to turn different ingredients, like plants that usually take up a lot of inventory space, into small but powerful food items is a simple but well thought out mod that makes surviving in Subnautica that much more interesting. Even after completing the game multiple times and using the most difficult mod to take my survival skills up a notch, I still forget if I looked for blueprints and certain key items as I'm exploring, which is why this next mod is a total game changer. The Subnautica map mod is a small but essential mod that unlocks a map within the PDA that lets you see your location and where you visited on the map. Being able to see where I previously visited lets me know I already collected the needed fragments for that area and can continue to explore other points of interest on the map. I think that newbies should actually not download this mod unless they struggle with being disoriented, but for seasoned players who have already beat the game and discovered its secrets, it can be useful to map out key areas and know where you are so you don't need a wiki guide or a YouTube tutorial every time you want to get back to a specific wreck or biome. Now, while the 3 vehicles available in the base game of Subnautica are great, it always felt like something was missing. The vehicle that's somewhere between the Sea Moth and the Cyclops. This next mod, the Hydra submarine, adds what everybody wanted Subnautica to have: a faster, more maneuverable submarine for quick resource transportation. There isn't another vehicle mod more finely polished and enjoyable to use that comes to mind aside from the Hydra. The Hydra is an absolute unit. It can move as fast as a Sea Moth, but has enough room to store a whole base worth of resources. The Hydra uses 4 power cells, so it can also be used for much longer than a Sea Moth before needing to have its power cells recharged. The intro explaining how to pilot the vehicle when first starting up the Hydra is done so well, along with the ship's AI voice. If Subnautica came with this vehicle already in the game, nobody would think it's just a mod. If you want to quickly transport resources in a smaller, faster submarine than the Cyclops, definitely give this mod a try. Playing Subnautica for the first time is very intimidating because it feels like death is always right around the corner. But once you've played enough, you quickly realize how easy it is to either avoid a Leviathan entirely or revoke its life privileges, making beating the game a cakewalk. But that's where this next mod comes in. The Deathrun Remade mod adds an insane increase to difficulty and forces the player to use everything they know about surviving in Subnautica to stand a chance of beating this mod. First of all, your life pod won't land in the safe shallows and will sink before promptly tipping over when it hits the bottom. You should also try to fix the life pod quickly so its lower power recharge rate doesn't put a pause on your crafting. Speaking of crafting, all the tools will be missing batteries, so they now have to be crafted separately. The Deathrun mod makes the Aurora explosion have a much larger radioactive impact on the map, causing a lack of surface level oxygen, which will mean you'll need a floating air pump to be able to refill your oxygen when away from the base. As time passes, the radiation from the Aurora spreads, meaning you'll need to wear the radiation suit until you fix the drive core and strategically switch between the radiation helmet and the rebreather once deep enough to avoid being damaged. While you can usually surface extremely fast with a sea glide in Subnautica, in real life the nitrogen buildup in your blood from ascending so quickly would stop your heart before you surfaced. The danger of surfacing too quickly is called the bends, and that's exactly the mechanic this mod adds. If you surface too fast, you take a ton of damage, and unless you reach a safe depth, you will die. This forces you to learn to conserve oxygen tanks and not dive too deep to where you can't slowly resurface. Enemies in Deathrun are way more aggressive and will follow you out of the original biome to try and end your run. This means that warpers will follow you until you reach dry land, and Reaper Leviathans will leave the crash zone just for you. Ghost Leviathans will make it their #1 mission to prevent you from leaving the Lost River alive, and sea dragon leviathans will shower you in hot molten lava on sight. This mod is so challenging, I'd recommend you tweak a few settings if you're trying it for the first time. Unless you feel like farming resources for an infinity, you should remove the increased resource requirement for building blueprints. The nitrogen meter is a huge part of this mod, but it's also extremely annoying if you're a Subnautica pro and you don't want an overly long playthrough from how long it takes to resurface. The best part about this mod is the intense creature aggression, the increased effect of radiation from the aurora, the added enhanced dive suits, specialized oxygen tanks, and the randomized life pod location that drops you outside of the safe shallows. This final mod adds some of the most content to the game, including the biggest threat you could ever have the misfortune of meeting, the Gargantuan Leviathan, and the mod known as the Return of the Ancients. The Gargantuan Leviathan is an unkillable monster that is so large it snacks on adult ghost leviathans and can crack your rebreather just from its earth-shattering roar. The Architect's Library mod is part of the Return of the Ancients mod, and it adds a new ion knife that stuns and does higher damage than the regular knife with a much faster attack speed. You can swap the green ion cube with a pink electric cube to make it teleport hostile enemies away from you, or do an insane amount of damage at the cost of some health with the red power cube. You also gain access to the alien fabricator that lets you build enhanced upgrades for your vehicles, a new tool that lets you teleport, a few cosmetic items, and a suite of new alien materials to craft. The alien fabricator lets you craft the alien builder tool, which can be used to build advanced alien structures and adds a whole new dimension of customization to the already great building system of Subnautica. The vehicle upgrades for the Seamoth enhance the creature's shock defense, and adds a gravity hook that lets you swing out of the way to gain a whole new level of maneuverability. The prawn suit has an intense ion booster upgrade that lets you move quickly in every direction, and an upgrade which adds an auto defense mechanism to ward off aggressive fauna. The Cyclops gets a new upgrade that allows long-range scanning while being safely inside, and also ion boosters that let you travel insanely fast across the map at a high cost of power. But even if you never use the ion boosters, just the amazing look of the glowing green accents in the Cyclops makes this upgrade 100% worth it. Having all these new alien blueprints, structures, vehicle upgrades, and tools combined with the unstoppable threat of a gargantuan leviathan make this one of, if not the #1 best mod for Subnautica. If you were looking for a way to play the best version of Subnautica, now you can stop searching because these mods will turn your game into an entirely new experience. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite mod is, or if you think I missed anything. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.